Alice Morgan knew the odds. Where he grew up, the streetlights flickered and dreams often died young. His single mom worked two jobs just to keep food on the table and a secondhand laptop in his hands. He was quiet, razor-focused, and never asked for more than he earned. So when he landed a job at a prestigious downtown investment firm, fresh out of college, it felt like a miracle. His scuffed shoes gleamed from a fresh polish. He stepped into the high-rise lobby with wide eyes and a stomach full of nervous butterflies. His first day, he wore his best shirt pressed, a little too big in the shoulders. His scuffed shoes gleamed from a fresh polish. He stepped into the high-rise lobby with wide eyes and a stomach full of nervous butterflies, and then he saw her. Vivian Carlyle, the CEO, sharp as broken glass, fierce as a winter storm. The kind of woman who walked like she owned the world, because in many ways she did. Everyone knew her by reputation. She dragged the company from the brink of collapse and forged it into a titan in 5 short years. Rumor had it she had no patience for mistakes or weakness. Their first meeting, not just not great, it was a disaster. He tripped on the edge of the conference table, sending a glass of water cascading across her perfectly arranged files. She didn't yell, didn't even raise her voice. She just stared, her eyes like chips of ice. "Next time, Mr. Morgan," she said, her voice a low, dangerous hum. "Walk with your eyes open." He mumbled an apology, mortified. But something in her tone, a barely perceptible steel beneath the calm, didn't sting. It challenged him. Days bled into weeks. Alice worked. Harder than anyone, he was first in, last out. He devoured reports like they held the secrets to the universe. Slowly, almost imperceptibly, he earned quiet nods from senior staff. But from Vivian, nothing. A void. Until one evening. It was nearly 9 p.m. The office was a ghost town. Alice was in the break room, hunched over instant noodles in a paper cup. The door swished open and she walked in, heels in hand, hair slightly undone, a silk blouse clinging just so. "Still here, Morgan?" she asked, her voice laced with genuine surprise. "Didn't finish the Q3 analysis," he replied, not looking up. She raised a perfect eyebrow. "That's not due until Monday." "I know," he shrugged, finally meeting her gaze. "I wanted it to be perfect." A beat of silence. Then she walked over, settling into the chair across from him, her bare feet tucked beneath her. "You always work this hard?" "My mother," he said softly, stirring his noodles, "didn't raise me for half effort." Something shifted in her eyes, a flicker of understanding, of recognition. That night they talked. Not about balance sheets or market trends, but about life. She spoke of a surgeon father in Boston who never hugged her. He spoke of his mom pawning her wedding ring for his textbooks. There wasn't much laughter, but there was an unspoken language of shared struggle. They understood each other. That's when she started seeing him. A week later, the power failed. A furious storm had ripped through the city, plunging the high-rise into darkness. Most employees had fled, but Ellis and Vivian were both still inside. He found her near the emergency stairwell, phone clutched in hand, fruitless searching for a signal. "You all right, Miss Carlyle?" he asked, his voice cutting through the sudden silence. "Apparently, executive status doesn't exempt you from blackouts, Morgan," she said, a dry hint of amusement in her tone. He grinned. "Guess we're walking down 32 flights together, then?" Step by quiet step, floor by floor, they talked. She spoke of a sun-drenched vineyard she once dreamed of owning. He told her about his quiet ambition to start scholarships for kids like him, kids no one saw. Somewhere around the 19th floor, she stopped, turning to face him in the dim emergency light. "You're not what I expected, Ellis." "Neither are you, Vivian," he replied, his gaze unwavering. By the time they reached the echoing lobby, the storm outside had passed, but something between them had definitely changed. It was unspoken, undeniable and undeniably real. From that night on, things shifted subtly between them. She began calling him Ellis in meetings, her voice softer when she addressed him. She entrusted him with higher level tasks, and their conversations lingered after others had left. Small smiles turned into longer glances, people noticed. Whispers began to ripple through the office. Then came the annual corporate gala. Everyone dressed to impress. Ellis wore a borrowed tux, feeling a little out of place but standing tall. Vivian arrived in a dark red dress that made the entire room collectively gasp. When they danced just once, the whispers died. No one dared to speak. But every eye in the room was watching. The next day, HR sent her an email. A polite, firm reminder of company policy. No fraternizing with subordinates. She called him into her office. Her face was unreadable. "I need to know," she began, her voice steady, "what you want from this, Ellis." He didn't hesitate, didn't even think. "You, Vivian." She looked at him, and for a fleeting second, he thought he saw tears welling in her sharp eyes. But instead, she gave a slow, decisive nod. "Then we're doing this right," she said, her voice firm, resolute. "No secrets. No power plays. Just us." From that moment, they walked a tightrope. Some coworkers resented him, hissed about favoritism, but most saw the truth. She was better with him, softer, more human. And he was becoming a man he never thought he could be, standing shoulder to shoulder with the woman who challenged and understood him like no one else. They didn't rush. They built it carefully, deliberately. And after 6 months, Vivian Carlisle's CEO stepped down. She started a new firm, her own, and Ellis followed. Not as an employee, but as a partner, in business, in life. Sometimes, late at night, he would look across the table at her, her hair down, laughter dancing in her eyes, and still wonder how a woman like her ever saw a man like him. But she did. And in her eyes, he wasn't the poor kid from the neighborhood anymore. He was simply hers.